is that the Biden administration is not only planning to finish Trump's border wall in Texas, but they are prepared to break 26 federal laws in the process, which actually led to Congressman from Florida, Maxwell Frost, making a statement against the president today, which I found to be interesting. Let's put the.
I was going to put the thing up that reminded people because he just noticed that we're demonetized.
Yes,
no, but I know I'm not allowed to touch anything.
No, I want to put the video up.
Okay.
So this is an important clip. You're going to get an idea of exactly what Karine Jean-Pierre had to say today, because apparently this is, it's okay when the Democrats do it. It's okay when they destroy the environment. It's okay when they do the things that apparently Trump was going to do and the entire world was ending as a result, including the Time magazine cover of the falsified photograph of the young child crying her eyes out and making it seem like Border Patrol agents were stealing her parents away. The propaganda is real, and this is as real as it gets now. So here we go.
No, there will not be another foot of wall constructed in my administration. Number one.
The president just told me that a border wall does not work. If that's the case, why does his own Department of Homeland Security secretary say in a public notice, quote, there is presently an acute and immediate need to construct physical barriers?
Here's what I can say. I can speak to what the president was very clear in saying, and also what you all have been reporting about this construction. So the facts are this is not new. These funds were appropriated in fiscal year 2019 under Republican leadership, and DHS is required by law to use the funds for appropriated purpose. That's what we're seeing. This was announced back in June by the DHS. And so, look, we believe that there are better effective ways of moving forward to secure our border and security, our border security, and we have continuously asked for Congress to act, to provide our CBP, the law enforcement at the border, to give them the resources they need to do their jobs. And so we're going to continue to call on Congress. We believe, and the president has been very clear, even when you asked him, does a border wall work? He said no.
Answer one question on the border wall. The border wall, the money was appropriated for the border wall. I tried to get them to reappropriate, to redirect that money. They didn't. They wouldn't. And in the meantime, there's nothing under the law other than they have to use the money for what was appropriated. I can't stop that.
Blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's nonsense. Even AOC called him out for that. That's how you really know it's nonsense, because, even she mustered up the courage to say that that's not true.
Karine, can you go in front of the national TV audience and lie through your teeth for us again, please?
That's just bullshit. That's just lying.
Yeah.
We appropriated these funds at this particular date, so we have to do it for this.
Since when?
She said earlier in that press conference that they could have done it sooner had Congress released those funds sooner. Well, the Democrats had Congress until 2023. So why didn't they do it then if it was so inevitable, right?
So what is
it's
it?
just, it's absurd.
Why now? What is, I'm trying to see what's the strategy in this for them. I don't see it.
Well, there's definitely a crisis at the border.
The Democrats have no answer for yes. What
there is a
Pete said is true.
They
have no answer for this whole border problem is something that they never had an answer for. Neither party can have an answer for it because neoliberalism requires draconian border enforcement because it's the only thing that brings any stability to capitalism because there are no self-correcting mechanisms within capitalism. So you have to enforce capitalism, not through socialism, but through fascistic border policy. And the only difference between electing Donald Trump and Joe Biden is how we as Americans choose to feel about the fact that we are going to have draconian border enforcement. When we elect Donald Trump, we make no apologies for it. This is our country. They should stay the hell out. We ship out the ones that are here. When Democrats are here, it's, oh man, it's terrible that we have to do it this way. It's terrible we don't have enough beds, but we don't have enough beds, and we will send Kamala down to Venezuela. Please don't come. We wish it didn't have to be this way, and now we have to build wall, and we wish we didn't have to build wall. We don't think it's a good idea to build wall, but the funding it has to be used. Democrats package regrets about the border situation, whereas Republicans package nationalistic pride. right?
Yeah.
But that's the only difference. The only difference is the packaging. The only difference is how we choose to emotionally process it as a society. There's no actual difference in the material reality at the border. In fact, you could argue very, very compellingly, I think, that because the Democrats message in a more benign way, it makes the reality at the border worse, because people think if they come up here and there's a Democrat in the White House, they're going to get a good deal. And then they come up here and they realize they're not, to the point where not only are our facilities, which are facilities under Biden, cages under Trump, our facilities are full now. Not only are our facilities full, but Mexican facilities are overflowing because the migrants who are being turned south, they don't make it all the way back to their home country right away. They have to stay at these, detention centers in, Juarez, all these cities all the way down. There was that horrible story about 6 months ago about that fire that broke out at a Mexican migrant center because they're overcrowded. And not only are those centers overcrowded, but now you have migrants living on the streets of Mexico because there's no room in the... So, like, you could make an argument that because the Democrats project that they treat immigrants better, they actually end up treating immigrants worse because more of them come thinking they're going to get a better deal. And now you have more of an overflow problem and more of a logjam, not just at the border, but south of the border.
No, you hit it very right in the very beginning. This is a capitalism problem. And so that's why it's not a party thing. It's not a party thing. And the reason it's a capital problem is it because we have the capability and the resources to be better. We have that. We could actually be inviting people and even putting people up in temporary housing. Why don't we have dorms? Like, we should build some sort of like nice place where people can come and stay. We give them food until they can get on their feet. And it's like, and I know that that's like this utopian, ridiculous concept that I have, but it's like, we could absolutely be doing better. It's just not profitable to do so. And that's fundamentally what my problem is. This has nothing to do with Democrats or Republicans or policy. Is that those people do not think that the people coming across the border are worthy of and equal to the treatment that we have here or we're supposed to have here. They think of them as lesser. They're lesser, and so we can treat them this way. That's all this is. And I don't care what party. I told him he wanted to talk about this. And I'm like, I have a very strong opinion about this. This isn't a policy problem. It's a humanity problem. And those people have none whatsoever, because none of these people have a solution that isn't a violation of international law. None of these people have a solution that is not amoral. And I'm not even just talking about razor wires in the river, because don't even get me started on that kind of crap. That's insanity. So this infuriates me to no end. There is no reason to treat people this way. None.
Then, of course, you have 26 federal laws being violated, including several environmental laws that are being violated. And look, I've been saying from the very beginning that Biden is worse than Trump on the environment.
Of course. It's not even close.
And
immigration and the environment. Of course, it's not even close.
No.
If you're talking about a current president, and granted, I say this all the time, I don't know if I've ever said it to you, but I make it as clear as I can. Anthony Blinken is the president of the United States. And so whatever decisions he's making.
You think he's in charge?
He's absolutely in charge.
Well, sure shit ain't Kamala behind the scenes.
And so when Blinken and the Joint Chiefs of Staff and coupled with the intelligence apparatus are making these decisions, when you have a president on record who has issued more drilling permits in 2 years than Trump issued in 4 years, and he's like, we're totally going to drill the shit out of everything. It's like, what in God's name do you want? Like, are people so vapid and vain that they only care about their feelings? Like, is it? But I also think that also speaks to the type of person that constantly watches politics, that this is their...
That's you.
But I'm not for emotionally driven responses.
Because you are a person who constantly watches politics.
I pay, I do the job for you.
Okay. Well, I can't watch that swill.
So if you're going to pay this close
Did you have a CNN Plus membership?
Dude, I'm
Were
not
you the
that
last
much
guy
of
to
a-
cancel CNN
I'm not
Plus?
that much of a sadomasochist. Dude.
I
don't try to
have
kill
been.
myself
What's
after.
interesting is the past week I have brought it upon myself to once a day flip through the three. So I flip through CNN, MSNBC, and Fox, just like to. I don't know any of their names of their people. You know that Tucker Carlson's gone. I don't think I know. Like I don't know any of the people, and it is so predictable what they're talking about. Like so, I sit there. Okay, CNN. They're talking about yes, it's Ukraine. Yes, it is. Like, and it's absurd. Like they are just literal stenographers. I don't know how anybody can watch that swell.
Well, speaking of the environment, I mean, so sorry, Peter, I didn't mean to disrupt
please.
your flow,
Go
but
ahead.
the Nord Stream pipeline, single greatest carbon bomb in
Oh.
history of humanity. No man-made event has released more greenhouse gas into the atmosphere than the destruction of the Nord Stream pipeline. And so, I mean, yes, you're absolutely right. Biden has been worse than Trump on the border, worse than Trump on climates. These are things that you would, just take for granted. The Democrats are going to be a little better, but no.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.